What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I'm going to show you a story that I was supposed to do this past Thursday, about 4 days ago. And I didn't get a chance to get into it, and I waited a little bit and hope, gladly it turned out for the best. You see this woman up here? Today we're going to Seattle, Washington with this story that broke last Thursday. This woman that you see up here is a grandmother. This woman was shot multiple times at an ATM by this young man right here after she couldn't exceed her limit and give him $1,000. So he shot her after she screamed for help. Now this woman was at an ATM at night. This woman had her granddaughter in the car, who was 8, I think, at the time, or 9. And this woman was shot multiple times. She was shot, I think they said 3 times, but she had 8 entry and exit wounds. And you'll figure out why, when you see the damage these bullets did to this woman. There are a lot of people out here that target people. This young man right here looks like an idiot. And I'm going to explain to you why, and I would show him no leniency, because what he made was a conscious decision. Him and another knucklehead dude that was with him that really got off. But anyway, the reason why I'm doing this story is the day before this young man was sentenced, and you'll see the time he got, she told her story. So I'm going to show you both the stories and listen to what this woman says about how him taking a deal, it's not real justice, and why she just accepted it, where she'd rather just be done with the whole thing. And it goes along with a lot of stuff I tell y'all. Look.
Tonight, a 67-year-old grandmother shot during an attempted robbery at an ATM wants you to see what happened to her. As a warning to always be on alert when using the machine, she's preparing to face the shooter in court when he's sentenced on Friday. A word of caution, the video you are about to see is not graphic, but it may be troubling to some sensitive viewers. How painful is this right now, walking?
It's painful.
It's been 19 months since Tina Rothert was shot 3 times during a robbery attempt, once in her stomach and twice in her left thigh.
Right here is 1 bullet wound. There's another bullet wound here. I have another here. I have 8 wounds because of entry and exit, plus one of the bullets that struck my leg broke my femur and fragmented, so some of the fragments came out.
She's still in physical therapy twice a week.
I can't walk very far without the use of an aid. A little bit, more than I was 6 months ago, but very limited.
Here's why. On April 5th of last year, Tina stopped at the ATM in Covington to deposit a check. She had just put her card in the machine when 2 20-year-olds, Cries and Colby Delamar, surprised her. What do they say to you when they come up?
They said, take $1,000 out of the machine. You're going to give me $1,000 right now.
Tina was trying to explain to Trice that her bank has a limit on withdrawals.
He was having no part of it. He says, I know you can, and you're going to do it right now. And I said, no, I can't. And he shoved me out of the way.
Delamar was holding her at gunpoint.
Somehow, somewhere, I managed to yell, help me. Don't ask me how. I just know it came out. And as soon as I said that, he turned and fired.
Tina fell back to the ground.
I think he was just angry because he didn't get the money.
The ATM's camera shows Trice jump at the sound of the gunfire, and then the 2 of them race away. They took off in a silver Nissan Sentra. Could you believe you'd been shot?
No.
A nearby store worker heard the gunfire and raced to help stop the bleeding. Tina's 10-year-old granddaughter was in the car and saw everything.
I know that Haley has got some serious anxiety with all of this. She's very protective of me.
You haven't been back to that ATM since it happened, but what's it like just being this far from it?
Right now, it's okay. My back is to the ATM, but I have also been doing physical therapy right down there for the last 19 months. So it's what my therapist calls, conditional exposure, which helps you get over some of the trauma.
Tina's path to recovery has been paved with pain and PTSD.
Fireworks, cars backfiring, popping balloons. 4th of July was 2 weeks of hell, for lack of a better word.
King County Sheriff's Detective Brittany Bertner was able to get a license plate number for the suspect's car. It belonged to Trice and led to the arrest of both suspects. Tina says she believes Trice is remorseful. He pleaded guilty to rendering criminal assistance and was sentenced in August to a year in custody. Delamar pleaded guilty to assault first degree and attempted robbery first degree. So the prosecution and the defense have come up with an agreement of a little more than 12 years in prison after he pled guilty. Are you happy with that sentence? Is that justice?
No.
So why settle?
Because I need this over. I need to get it. We're looking at 19 months with a deal. We aren't even close to going to trial. How long would that be? And do I want to look at him every day for how long? I want this over. I need to be able to move on with my life and get this behind me.
Tina's planning to give a 5-page victim impact statement at Delamar's sentencing on Friday.
I want them to know that no matter how horrible your childhood is, these kind of crimes are not excusable. If that gun was just supposed to be a scare tactic, it shouldn't have had any bullets in it.
She's also hoping that her message sinks in with the courts, that victims' rights should come first. She's already been told that Delamar will have numerous speakers pleading for leniency.
The defendant has pled guilty to both felonies. However, he gets the same amount of court time on Friday that I do. And that makes no sense to me, because why does his team need to speak if he's already pled guilty?
Tina will have her own group of supporters there as well. She says she will never use an ATM again and wants what happened to her to serve as a warning to others.
I have used that machine for more years than I can count, more times than I can count. Never thought twice about it. Clearly now you do have to think twice about it. Doesn't matter what kind of neighborhood you're in.
Well, Fox 13 will be at that sentencing hearing on Friday, and we will bring you all of the details.
Now, the man who shot a woman in front of her granddaughter at a Covington ATM has now learned his fate. Today, a judge sentenced him to 11 years in prison. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. Tonight, we're hearing from the woman still recovering from her injuries and her reaction to her shooter's sentencing. Couple Jackie Kent live outside the courthouse in Kent tonight with the story. Jackie?
Yeah, and it was a very emotional day. The victim, Tina Rothert, says she has found strength through her granddaughter to help her through her physical pain and also to face her attacker in court today. Now, Colby Delamar pleaded guilty to the assault and the robbery last month, and today he apologized before the judge handed down his sentence.
I'm a prisoner in my own community, no longer comfortable out in public.
In front of a Kent judge and the man who shot her, Tina Rothert recalled her attack at an ATM in front of her 10-year-old granddaughter, Haley, who she had adopted as her daughter.
She was and still is the reason I have not given up.
She urged the judge to sentence Colby Delamar to the maximum of just over 12 years in prison to close this chapter of her life.
Offenders are not being held accountable and given even little, if any, adequate consequences.
The surveillance footage from April 2024 played in court, showing Delamar and another man approaching the 65-year-old grandmother with a gun as she tried depositing a check. When she refused to pay up and called for help, that's when she says he shot her 3 times and she fell to the ground in front of Haley, who saw it all from the car.
She should not be carrying the level of anxiety that this has caused her.
After many speeches from Rothert's family, her Seahawkers Booster Club friends, and Delamar's dad and brother.
I strongly believe that chemical activity played a part in this. Chemical dependency, fentanyl, drugs, what it's doing to our young people today, not just my son.
Keep your head up, stay accountable, be smart, make better choices. Okay?
Delamar broke down in tears and apologized.
Deep down, no amount of time will fix what I've done. Tina, I want to ask you if you would please accept my apology as a young, dumb person for the traumatizing things I did to you.
Judge Sandra Woodland said she considered Delamar's age of 20 years when handing down a sentence of 11 years behind bars.
It is my hope for you and for the community that you spend every day really being the person that they see in you.
And I asked Rothert after court if this sentencing brings closure for her. She told me she was surprised by Delamar's apology, but would have liked to see him get the maximum sentence. Meanwhile, Delamar's attorneys tell me they are still deciding whether they plan to appeal. For now, live in Kent, Jackie Kent, Come On News.
Guys, you seen it? 11 years for almost killing her grandmother, an elderly woman, over $1,000 fucking dollars. Now, I'm gonna bring up a couple of things. It seemed like this boy right here, well, obviously he made conscious decisions. That's why I wouldn't showed him no leniency. They gave him 11 years out of the 12. He'd have got the whole 12. But I mean, in my honest opinion, it's not enough. And I'm going to tell you why. You ran up there with another dude. The other dude is at the ATM taking the ladies, trying to take ladies' money. You got the lady at gunpoint. She screamed. You made a conscious decision to pump 3 or 4 shots in her, shattering her leg where she couldn't get up. If it wasn't for that person that heard the shots and came out there, that old lady would not have been able to get up because the injuries to her leg made it impossible. She would have died right there. Now, her 10-year-old granddaughter was in the car. They said she was 10, I guess, when this happened. So I guess she's 12 now. And she's seen the whole thing. The psychological damage, and she says she has anxiety now. And all of that stuff is irreparable when it didn't have to be. All because of the wantingness of you and the willing predation on a person that meant you no harm and didn't even know you. You willingly pulled up looking for somebody to victimize. And you did. That woman's still going to physical therapy. Can't even live a regular life now because one act of violence that you committed on her has her diverting her time to even getting back to somewhat of a normal life. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. You was 20 years old when you did that shit. And then the thing that's messed up about it is, seen his granddad in there? Seen his brother? They sound like responsible people. Granddad said, yeah, chemical dependency, fentanyl and all that. So he was on drugs and doing whatever. That was on him. And then he said, you know, when these young kids out here, yeah, but you willingly take that shit. It ain't like nobody putting it in your body. You willingly taking that. Following behind the culture that'll have you fucked up in the game. And you've seen it firsthand. Another thing, as far as that apology, that shit was bullshit to me. And I'm going to tell you why. All because they played the stuff in court. All these people seeing it. Everybody looking at that and then looking at you. Now you sad and you up there crying. I shouldn't have did it. Would you have thought about that if you had never got caught? You would have never turned yourself in. Always circumstance that brings people to a situation of being sorrowful. How many times have we done videos where people be in court and all of a sudden they crying and all this shit like they the victim after victimizing somebody else? Then on top of that, when she's talking, she said, I just want it to be over with. I got to be dragged back and forth and look at this person that did this to me and I didn't do it to him. And that's why the courts is bullshit. It's bullshit. This guy could have killed this woman and didn't give a shit about it. Over $1,000? That ain't shit nowadays with the way the economy's go. Damn. Then the thing is this, a lot of motherfuckers out here stealing and robbing people because they want to, not because they need to. And that's why these cases need to be looked at differently. When I was out there robbing banks, right? In the back of my mind, I thought about 2 things before I was sent to prison. Number 1, what I'm doing is wrong. And whatever comes with this, either to me or to my position in life, I was willing to accept that because I felt as though I had a death wish and I was ready to get out of here because I was fed up with factors not of my own control. And that happens. But for you to get up in court and get to crying and all this type of stuff, and then you sit up there and say, I'm sorry, but you ain't even stand up and look that woman in the eye like you did when you had that gun on her, threatening her, committing a terroristic act. It's bullshit to me. And at 20 years old when you shot her, and now 22 years old later, you claim to see the error of your ways, you couldn't even be a man about it. And that's my problem. That's my problem. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. 22 years old now. 11 years he'll be out at 33 years of age. Or maybe before that with parole or probation or whatever. He gets a second chance of life to finish what life he has naturally. Whereas bullets take years off lives. So I wonder how many years this woman lost by those horrific injuries. That's all I'm saying. See you in the next video. Take care.